Welcome to Tucked In Tales, a new storytime podcast for kids. Tucked In Tales is a Sweet Pea TV production. I'm Miss P, and I'm so glad that you could join me today. Get comfy, because today I'm going to be reading Willow's Whispers by Lana Button. I hope you like it. Willow's Whispers by Lana Button. Willow's words came out in whispers. They were just too tiny to hear. She wished they would come out so loud and clear that everyone would notice. But when Willow spoke, her words just slipped out as soft and shy as a secret. I'm Willow. At school, when Jane and Julian made room at their table and asked, "Want to sit here?" Willow whispered, "I'd love to." "Oh, well," said Jane. Julian shrugged. "She must like sitting alone." Willow's shoulders sank. No one heard her reply. "No, I don't." At snack time, when Mrs. Post asked, "Would you like apple juice or orange juice?" Willow whispered, "Apple, please." "Pardon me, dear?" asked Mrs. Post. "Apple, please," Willow tried again. Mrs. Post smiled and poured her orange juice. "There you go, dear." Willow sighed. She drank it anyway, even though it made her lip crinkle. At playtime, when Willow gathered the dollhouse family for a picnic and Christabel snatched away the baby, Willow whispered, "I'm playing with her." "Excuse me?" sneered Christabel. "I'm playing with her," Willow repeated. But Christabel just skipped away. Willow said nothing. She had the picnic anyway, even though the dolls had lost their appetites. At the end of the day, Mrs. Post said, "Those of you who have not had a turn to be line leader, please speak up." Willow whispered, "I haven't had a turn." "Anyone?" asked Mrs. Post. "I haven't." So Mrs. Post chose Christabel as line leader again. Willow scuffed her feet to her usual spot at the end of the line. Even at bedtime, when Willow's dad tucked her in and said good night, Willow whispered, "Good night." But Dad was an expert at hearing Willow's whispers. He never said what, or pardon, or who. He just wrapped Willow tight in a bear hug and whispered right back, "Your big, strong voice got stuck way inside you, Willow. That happens sometimes. But one day your voice will wiggle its way out." Willow lay awake that night, searching for a way to make louder words. She wished and thought and planned until she fell asleep. The next morning, Willow jumped out of bed and headed to the recycling bin. She rooted and rummaged until she found just the thing. Then she gathered markers and glitter and glue and rushed to her room. When Willow finally came out, she was holding a magic microphone. That day at school, Willow pressed the magic microphone to her lips and told Jane and Julian, "I'd love to sit with you." "Great," said Jane as she and Julian scooted over. "You can share our crayons." Willow could hardly believe her ears. At snack time, when Mrs. Post asked, "Would you like apple juice or orange juice?" Willow said, "Apple, please." "There you go, dear," Mrs. Post said. Willow drank her juice in one gulp. Her lip didn't crinkle a bit. At playtime, when Christabel tried to snatch away the dollhouse baby, Willow trumpeted, "I'm playing with her." Not only did Christabel hear Willow, the whole class heard her. It was a perfect day for a picnic. The dolls had 2 helpings of everything. But at the end of the day, when Mrs. Post said, "Those of you who have not had a turn to be line leader, please speak up," the microphone slipped from Willow's hand. First, there was a thunk, and then a horrible scrunch. Willow picked up the crumpled cardboard tube and tried. I haven't had a turn. Anyone? Asked Mrs. Post. Something was stirring way inside Willow. It twisted, it turned, it wiggled its way out. She put down the crumpled tube, took a brave breath, and with her own big, strong voice said, "Me! It's my turn." And everyone, even Christabel, cheered as Willow the line leader led the class out the door. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. That was Willow's Whispers by Lana Button, and you've been listening to Tucked in Tales. I'm Miss P, and I'll see you next time.